Welcome to Base Coverage. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting to the show. Don't forget to subscribe here, drop a comment, like a video, share with a friend. We cover ELF ball and we gotta keep this thing going.
We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just parking now. His street, what to talk about. See the big H when I'm walking out.
Welcome. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Base Coverage. I'm your host, Jamal Clay. How's everybody doing? I'm back. It's been a while, but I am back. And the ELF just released its 2024 schedule, and that is the main reason why we are coming back, because I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to give you guys my thoughts and see where we stand. Per usual, subscribe to the channel, join the locker room, join the debates. Base Coverage is back covering the ELF. Now, before I get into the schedule release, I just want to give a quick shout out to my guy, now, Mr. Nick Alfieri. Him and his brother just launched a new social media app called Quiver. And instead of me explaining it, I'll have him explain it to you guys.
If you're seeing this Insta story, I would like to officially invite you to be an early tester on my app that I've been making with my brother. It's called Quiver, and the goal of it is to start interesting conversations that you wouldn't otherwise be having. So how it works is every single day, there's a prompt that goes out to all users, and you can't see other people's answers to the prompt until you answer it yourself. So once you answer it, then you enter it into the timeline, and you can interact and comment on everybody's responses to the prompt. 24 hours later, there's a new question, a new prompt, and a new conversation. It's really fun, little social media. It's not like Twitter or Instagram that sucks you in for hours. You check it a couple times a day. It makes you kind of reflect on your life and your opinions and stuff like that. And it's been very fun so far. Like I said, we are early on in the process, so we're working through some bugs and kinks and stuff like that, but it does totally work. It's totally functional right now. So we would like to invite you to get on there, make a profile, follow me on Quiver. I'm going to be following back the first chunk of people that get on here and become early testers. It's been very fun so far.
Quiver, yes. If you haven't already, go in there, download the app, stir up these conversations, and let's have fun with it and support my guy Nick. Man, ELF, European League of Football, just released its 2024 schedule, and I've been waiting for this. I'm always excited to do this show because I'm excited to see, you know how the ELF went about their scheduling. One of the main things that I like is that the season starts in May. Ain't no more first week in June. The season starts in May. Let's get this thing rolling. All right. So shout out to the league for doing that. Let's dive into some quick storylines that I would like to talk about. 3 storylines heading into ELF 2024. The first one, how good is Madrid actually going to be? They're having a great signing. They just signed Mario Flores to join, Willie Patterson, and a couple other talented guys. They just signed Jalen Embry on defense to go with Kevin Fortis and Luke Glenna. They've signed a lot of talented guys. We're going to see how that team is going to pan out, but it's definitely interesting. When it comes to new teams, only the Vienna Vikings in year 2 were the only successful new team, even though they're technically not new, to join the ELF. So we'll see how Madrid's going to be. Next one, Paris and Munich, strong finishes to last season. Can they build off that? Can they build off strong finishes heading into 2024? They've had great off seasons. You can see that both those teams have similar signs in terms of bringing, their guys back and then making big splashes. We'll see if they can build off it. And then Berlin. Will Berlin continue to take another step? But will this step be a big step? Will they be a championship contender? Each year, ironically, like the Colts back when Bjorn Warner was playing, we're taking a step to get better every year with Andrew Luck. Missed the playoffs, wild card, divisional, secure home field, go to the conference, never made it to the Super Bowl. But will Berlin take the next step? There's no more fool's gold with this team. They were a good team last year, but some of their wins might have been a little, questionable in terms of, and we can't blame them. That's the conference that they're in. But they bring in Jacob Sullivan, so I'm excited to see how this Berlin Thunder team is going to look. So 3 quick storylines heading into the schedule release, and then we'll see how those pan out. All right, teams needing a fast start. I already mentioned this one team, Madrid. All right, you start off with a bye week 1, but then you play Barcelona in week 2, and then you got the Fire in Cologne. Within that first 4-week span, you have 2 teams that you might be fairly even against. So I'm not going out on a limb saying you could be 2-1, heading into the next quarter of your season. But again, I think they got to get off to a fast start. Last year, all new teams in the ELF went 1-4 the week one, but they went 4-17 within the first quarter of the season. All right. And obviously, no new teams made the playoffs. But as I mentioned before, Paris and Munich did have a strong finish, and I think they have a better season. But Madrid, they're having a great all season. So I think that's one team that has to get off to a fast start in the first quarter of the season. And when I say first quarter, I mean the first 4 weeks. Next, my Helvetic Guards. We need a fast start. I say we, like I'm part of the team. I root for them, but we got to get off to a fast start. All right. Before you get into the meat and potatoes of your schedule, because you go Barcelona by Milano, Barcelona. All right. I don't think I'm showing any favoritism saying that I don't see why you can't be 3-0 before you get to the meat and potatoes of your schedule. And when I say the meat and potatoes, that's when it gets a little dicey, because then you got the Raiders, then you got the Surge, then you got Milano again, then you got the Vikings, then you got the Ravens. It's gonna get late early in the middle of the season for the Guards. So I think it's important they get up to a fast start. I like what they've been doing so far this all season, bringing in a lot of guys that play, so the camaraderie is there. And obviously, we saw the difficulties of a new team starting. I like Carlton Atkins at quarterback. We'll see what they do at receiver, but my guards got to get off to a fast start. So we'll see how that pans out. All right, teams that got the toughest road schedule. Let me rephrase that. Teams that got the toughest schedule. All right, I had two teams in mind, but after debating and thinking about it, there's no team that has it more rough than the Russ Wolf Panthers. On paper, this is probably one of my favorite teams. I'm not gonna lie, with the talent that they've been able to acquire. Obviously, you focus on the defense with bringing back an AJ Wentland, signing the Devon Bureau special team, specialists. Also bringing in William James, and then signing like some of the local guys. We'll see what they. I know they signed Larry to go opposite Devon at DB, but if you look at what they've done on offense, they've signed obviously quarterback Steve Duncan. Who is a Tarleton State grad, just like Ben Holmes. So we got two Tarleton State QBs in the ELF this year. You sign a Matt Cole, who's had NFL experience with the 49ers, with the Washington Commanders, Botea Moreo at tight end. You signed Adams to go with David Brzozowski at running back. You kind of already see what they want to do and pound the rock and be an aggressive, physical football team. You bring in Keanu Ebanks, who you signed the previous year but ended up going to the CFL. So you bring him back to boost your offensive line, which is an upgrade there. And then you bring back some goats at receiver with Mazon and Banat. I mean, this team on paper looks great, but they got a rough schedule. Here, let me explain it to you. When I turn rough schedule, they start off, Berlin, and then they and then they play the Surge, and then they play the Vikings, and then they play the Galaxy, and then you got the Anthroners, and then you play the Vikings again. You don't get a bye until week 8. You got a gauntlet the first couple of weeks. All right, you need to 3-3 minimum, 4-2 at best. All right, because is this the year someone's going to challenge the Vikings and to take over the East? All right, I think it's possible, but it's definitely not an easy road. So we'll see how that pans out. We'll definitely see how that pans out. Matchups to look forward to. Some of the matchups I'm excited about heading into this season. All right, we'll start with week 1, Munich Surge. Right, you got rookie head coach, Coach Ellison, and the team he's building going up against one of the GOATs in Jordan Newman. All right, we'll see how it happens. In the home opener, we get that week 1. Prime time week 1 in Stuttgart. All right. Week 2, we get Barcelona Madrid, the El Clasico. All right. I'm excited about this one. Been waiting for this one since Madrid was announced. All right. We'll see what happens there. And then you get Fire Galaxy. Fire Galaxy, the QB matchup. Galaxy making a whole lot of changes. You bring in a Luke Zaraka. And the reason why they brought in that, because they feel like they could probably stretch the field and compete with the Jadrian Clarks when it comes to scoring. And not only that, you bring in a Markel Castle. And Markel Castle on the Ravens, probably one of the most successful receivers to go up against the Fire. So Oh, that's interesting. Galaxy Paris, what a West showdown, right? Paris home opener. The new Paris, a new Galaxy, you know? Berlin, Vienna. As I mentioned before, is this the year a team is going to challenge Vienna for the East? Is Berlin or Warsaw probably have the best chances, but we shall see. And then the last one, Berlin, Paris. We're getting a new matchup we haven't seen before. Week 8 is going to be exciting. Man, League did a great job. And one of the best things about it is that we start a week earlier. So, man, I'm excited. I'm excited to be back. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, share with video. And we back, baby. We back. ELF 24 schedule release. I'm excited.
Nobody. Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it. Hard work, they don't know about it.